I'll speak first and then I'll let my son speak after. First of all, I really want to thank Jeremy and once for their hospitality, for welcoming us to a special day today. My traditional name is Salasalton. I carry my late father's name from my territory up in Cultus Lake, Sewoli. For the students that are graduating today, my wife is the hereditary chief of the land here on Kwantlen First Nation. My wife has been chief, leader of her community, 33 years. I was telling Jeremy, and throughout Stalo, I think we have 6 out of 29 nations from Kwantlen to Boston Bar. And Kwantlen's always been a hereditary chief, so in time, when she's ready, one of our 8 children will be the next leader of the community. It'll stay in the family. I just wanted to educate you a little bit about what Kwantlen is and what it means. My wife, Stakwasan, would want me to say to the grads, congratulations to each and every one of you. We're honored to do the song we did, not only for the graduates, for the staff here, for the families that come and stand with you, for your beautiful graduation day. Today is your day. We also welcome you to the land you're on, the Kwantlen First Nation land, and I thank you to respecting the land. This is what we do as First Nations, regardless of where we go. My son Michael and my daughter Tricia. Tricia's the oldest daughter and Michael's in the middle. I just wanted to say for my wife, I hope you have a beautiful day. The song that we sang for you is it's an honor song for you. This is what we do as First Nations. It'll make you feel good. This is what it's all about. Our culture is very basic and easy, but when we're taught, when we're little toddlers, like this little girl sitting in the crowd, as long as you respect it, this is what you learn. This is how we keep our culture alive. So I'm going to let my son carry on, but I'm honored to be here, and I thank you for the invitation on your special today. Today is your day, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck in the future and whatever you want. Awesome.
Swell Siaya. I always start the day off by thanking our Chichel Siam, that's our creator, and our ancestors before us, because we wouldn't be able to share our culture. And I just want to raise my hands high to the graduates, but also the family that stands behind you. You know, through the hard nights where you didn't get enough sleep, where you're stressed out, they were there with you, and your partners if you have partners. So today is such a monumental day, and I thank the school for inviting us out, because we really love to be here to honor the graduates here today on their journey forward. We don't share songs. What we shared was prayer in our ways. This is not a performance. That song's called the Unity Song because we're all united today, equal, together to enjoy this day. The drum to us is the beat of the heart. We remember when we were inside our mom's womb for 9 months, what did we hear? The heartbeat. The drum beat is the heartbeat of our people, all people, but it's also the heartbeat of our ancestors. So these seats that are empty are filled up with the ones that you wish that were here, but they're here with us in spirit. A chief said to me when I was in Vancouver, when I was with my mom, when there's no higher way of saying thanks in our English language or even the traditional language that comes from our land, we share honor song. Once again, we don't know what the family is going through, the ones that are graduating or the ones that sit out in the crowd if you're going through grief or you're going through loss. These songs are meant to uplift you so that you're here present to enjoy this monumental day. So I thank the university, I thank the students for allowing us to be a small part of your day, but we're asking you for a safe journey forward. That's what that song is. We're united today. Lots of mot in our language. We're one mind, one heart, one spirit. Yaya is still working together. The most inspiring thing that I heard when we used to do drumming at another university. Don't let this be the end of your education journey. Elderly woman got up and she got her master's in nursing when we went to go drum for another graduate. And she stood up and she said, "That's another key added to my keychain." The more keys added to my keychain is more doors of opportunity for me and my family. So I'm very proud of you for getting your degree and having that key added to your keychain and being a role model for your family and your community and taking that uncomfortable step forward, but growing as an individual. We're so proud of you. Our community is proud of you. Your family is proud of you. You're not alone here today. Even though we're going through a pandemic, we're very proud of you. So we want to share that with you and raise our hands high. For the ones that don't understand when we raise our hands high without words being exchanged, that's a sign of respect. That's a sign of acknowledgement. It's a sign that we see you. So we thank you. We say Haichka, Haisepka, CM. Thank you together as a collective, and we hope you have a good day. Haichka.
Good afternoon. My name is Jeremy Sable. I am the president of Stenberg College. And I would very much like to thank Michael Kelly Gabriel, Kevin Kelly, and Tricia Gabriel, the cultural drummers from the Kwantlen First Nation, not only for the drumming and for the singing, but for the message, the inspirational message that they just shared with you. It was a great, great honor to have them open for us today and to hear what they had to share. A little bit earlier today, they shared with me in the interest of education, which is, of course, what we're here to acknowledge and celebrate, that Kwantlen means in their language tireless runner and tireless hunter. Tireless running is probably what it feels like you've been doing the past year or two. We as a society probably feel rather tired of running through the conditions of the pandemic, which has obviously affected everyone here. This is our first graduation ceremony under these circumstances in live format. Over the past year and a half, we have had several graduations in a virtual format. But I want to thank all of you for coming here today under these abnormal conditions to be here in support of your graduating family member or friend today. I'd like to ask you just a few housekeeping notes. I would like to ask all of you to remain in your seats until the ceremony has concluded. A quick warning, because we want to avoid embarrassment, of course, and there is quite an echo in this auditorium, so please take the opportunity to turn off your cell phones now. There is childcare available, so if you weren't aware and you have a child with you and you would, and perhaps they're already bored of me talking and getting restless, you can see an usher and have your child join childcare. Please do remember after the ceremony to get your child back from childcare. Every once in a while, people forget their child. We're here, of course, to celebrate the achievement of all the graduates that you see on stage. But each year we have a special acknowledgement for the Student of the Year and all of the individuals who are nominated. So before we proceed with the ceremony, we want to recognize the Student of the Year. Each year, over 1,000 students enroll at Stenberg College with the goal of transforming their lives through education. And for them, Stenberg represents a fresh start. For many of them, it represents that education that they take with us, and the career that it's aimed at represents a new lease on life. Whether students are taking classes at our flagship campus in Surrey or off-site at one of our satellite campuses throughout British Columbia or across the country or online, their experience is often united by profound personal and professional transformation. In recognition of their remarkable accomplishments, Stenberg College annually presents the Student of the Year Award to a deserving student who exemplifies excellence in academics, leadership, attitude, community service, and spirit. This award goes to a student who embodies Stenberg's mission to develop caring graduates who benefit their professional and personal communities. All year we receive countless nominations with stories of students who have gone above and beyond what is expected of them. We then face the difficult challenge of selecting one finalist for each program. Each program finalist is then interviewed, and from this group, one winner, a first runner-up, and a second runner-up are selected. The winner of the award receives a full tuition reimbursement, while the first runner-up receives a $5,000 tuition reimbursement, and the second runner-up receives a $2,500 tuition reimbursement. Additionally, each program finalist receives a $1,000 tuition reimbursement. This year, we have received over 150 nominations from faculty and instructors, and we were overwhelmed at the excellence that nomination list represents within our student body. Just to be chosen, of course, is a privilege. When I call your name, can all the Student of the Year nominees please stand where you are in front of your seat so that you may be recognized for your achievement? Don't be shy. In the HCA program, Sonia Cantonaire and Jean-Philippe Venn. Pardon me if I am in some way mispronouncing your names. In the HSSMOA program, Rima Bala, Abigail Castro, Jada Chanthapathet, Karamjeet Kaur, and Ang Sherpa. In the nursing unit clerk program, Jesse Grasby, Ashley Medeiros. In the practical nurse program, Mercy Barrientos, Jasmine Bola, Ivy Gregorio, Emily Lamb, Kaylin Livingston, Jessica Streeter, Kara Sky Van Shetzen, and Kiki Shao. In the psychiatric nursing program, Chandra Banga, Chantel Barch, Renee Beaupre, Chantel Cadaret, Kayla Dack, Tara Jean Dick, Kellyanne Fontaine, Omid Koshnevis, Hao Yi Lai, Chelsea Murray, Tanya Saller, and Melanie White. Please join me in giving a round of applause to all of these nominees. You may be seated. And you will all receive a nomination certificate by mail. I think that's old-fashioned mail, so you're going to have to check your old-fashioned mail for the next while. I'd like to now recognize the Student of the Year finalists, those who are here with us today. The only attendee, we only have one attendee, pardon me, so I'll read the list and they can be acknowledged in absentia. In the Business Diploma Marketing Specialist Program, Radhima Chopra. Cardiology Technologist Program, Jennifer Ball. In the Counseling Therapist, the finalist is Sarah McDonald. In the Healthcare Assistant Program, the finalist is Sonia Cantonaire, and she is with us today. Please stand, Sonia. In the Medical Lab Assistant Program, Paula Nicolai Hernandez. In the Optician Program, Emily Privet. Pharmacy Technician, Faraday Kaboli. In the Education Assistant Program, Carrie Hill. Practical Nursing Program, Abigail Cruz. Psychiatric Nursing Program, Omid Koshnevis. And in the Therapeutic Recreation Program, Jessica Dobransky. Please let's give a round of applause to Sonia and all the others, the finalists. Last but not least, just prior to the winner coming forward to speak from the podium, the recognition of the Student of the Year runner-ups. Neither is attending the ceremony this evening, and as you probably have noticed, a great many grads have been unable to attend this evening. Hospital Support Specialist graduate Mirna Brika is the second runner-up, and in the Early Childhood Education Program, Yuko Itagaki is the first runner-up. Without further ado, the recognition of the Student of the Year winner for 2021. This individual is incredibly deserving. Nursing Unit Clerk graduate Renee Trogi. For 15 years, Renee worked in a job she loved as a care aide, but after 3 workplace injuries, not uncommon, by the way, in the healthcare assistant field, she wanted to continue to help people. She was forced to look for a new career. She knew she wanted to continue to help people and discovered that becoming a nursing unit clerk was probably the best next step in her life. To prepare for the program at Stenberg, Renee took classes to improve her computer skills, and she worked hard throughout the program, earning a 98% GPA, and is currently working as a full-time float at Vancouver General Hospital. Nikki Cross, the department head for the program and an instructor, speaks highly of her, saying Renee went out of her way to help her classmates with anything they needed. She was the most supportive person, organizing study sessions for all to attend after class and going above and beyond. She was a delight to teach. Please give your attention to the screens above the stage. We're also going to roll out some screens for the graduates and faculty to watch as well. To see a video story featuring our Student of the Year, Renee. as she is unable actually to attend in person today. Grads, please watch on the televisions, and you can offer your silent congratulations to Renee.
I moved to Abbotsford when I was 11, and I haven't left Abbotsford, so I haven't really experienced much. I got pregnant young at 18, had a baby, started nursing, RN program, but unfortunately life just took me in different directions, and I ended up getting married and staying at home, and then I got divorced. I have 2 children, so my youngest was 2 when we got divorced. I went right into being a care aide, and I worked there for 15 years. 2 kids, working, paying the bills. It was hard. I mean, I love being a care aide. Loved it. It became a very physical job though, and so I had to start thinking of the next step. I just knew my body probably wouldn't take it. Getting older. I went to a psychiatrist. I just loved being a care aide and was having a really hard time, and I went to get some help, and she just kind of got me into like, why do you love care aide? What is it about it? And I realized I loved helping people. So we then started talking about, what do you love? What about it? And I came up with the nursing unit clerk, and that's where I went. In short terms, the nursing unit clerk processes physician's orders, but so much more. We answer all the phones, we greet all the visitors or the patients or the doctors coming in, we find anything they need, but the main thing we're there is to process the physician's orders. I was 43 maybe at the time, and I've never really used a computer. I was so scared. So I went and took some computer courses. I went back to school, I took some Excel, I took some Word programs, I took a typing program. It took me 3 times to pass that entrance typing to get into Stenberg. 3 times, but I did it. It was my first mild little success, but wow, I felt great. The first day of my program, I walked in, I was so scared. I just sat in the very first seat I could sit, and then I kind of people watched. I watched everyone that walked in, I looked at them, I looked at their age, I looked at what they were wearing, how beautiful they were. I was shaking. But then Frank walked in, and he is so funny and just welcomed us and everyone, the whole class. And he got us to say something that was going to mean something to you. So we all said master student. He called us master student. So from the very first day of class, I called myself a master student. We called ourselves master students. We called each other master students. We still, actually, now we call ourselves master employees, but we still say those things. So that first day was, it was the best day because I was so scared. And walking in, and I felt wonderful. Life was so hard with COVID. We started our program in Stenberg in class, you know, and then that was in January or the end of January, and by March we were at home. That was scary, but guess what? We got to go through it together. I can't talk about the parties or the group get-togethers because we didn't. We were during COVID. So I can just tell you, we laughed. We had some really good times trying to figure out Moodle at home. Those are funny, you know, how do you upload this? And it was a really good experience. I don't want to speak for the whole school, but I know any person from my class could have won Student of the Year. They could have been sitting in my place and they deserved it. Every single one. I just feel like I'm representing them, not necessarily me. I wouldn't have been here. I would not be here if it wasn't for the group of people I was matched with. My first day of practicum, I was nervous, but I was excited. I was really looking forward to it. I was not looking forward to answering the phone. Surprisingly, in all my life, I've never had a phone job or had to answer the phone or use the computer. But first day, answered it. Now I love it. I graduated on October 28th and my hiring date was November 2nd. I work full-time at VGH Hospital. I'm a float. I go to a different ward all the time. I go to ICU, I go to COVID units, I go to medicine, surgical. I feel fulfilled. I'm happy. I even have an hour and a bit drive to go to work each day, and I'm still enjoy it. You got to see the most wonderful, beautiful things out of COVID. When these nurses and doctors and health staff all work together in a pandemic, it was just amazing. It was really a beautiful blessing to see, as scary and as sad as it was, to see how these people handle it were amazing. I love my job. I love who I am while I'm at my job. I love coming home and I feel good. Now I really do believe that I want to come back and teach, and I've never imagined that change, but I'm looking into the future. I would tell the younger Renee to embrace the fear. Love the fear, because that's the excitement. The change, the challenges that will come my way or your way will give you light. Just content isn't good enough for you. Know your worth, because you are worth it. That's good. That's what I'd say.
Congratulations to Renee. What I think we find both inspirational, interesting perhaps is not the right word, but inspirational. It shouldn't be a surprise, but each year I think we are perhaps overwhelmed by the profound nature of the personal stories that we hear of our students, and not just the eventual winners of Student of the Year, the finalists, or the eventual Student of the Year themselves. But during the process of hearing the stories of so many nominees, we realize that this is really the story, Renee's story, of transformation and of reawakening and of rediscovering her self-worth, or of giving herself and her family another opportunity, a different opportunity. This is the story really of so many, if not every one of our graduates. And so that story that you just watched and listened to is really emblematic in one way or the other, to varying degrees, of this story that each graduate brings on stage with them. And although she's not here, if she were, I would thank her for her courage in sharing that with us. The valedictorian presentation. We have an outstanding student as valedictorian. She has excelled in her program and is a Student of the Year finalist. In fact, she's stood up on stage for us a couple of times. I would like to introduce Sonia Cantonaire. Sonia is graduating tonight from the Healthcare Assistant Diploma Program, and her instructor, Aine Camayo, who is an LPN, had this to say about her. Sonia is a full-time mom, but she always came to class smiling and excited to learn. She was energetic and willing to take on new challenges, all while raising a newborn. Please welcome Sonia Cantonaire to the stage.
A very good evening to you all. Parents, friends, and families, teachers, the faculty, and of course, all my fellow graduates of the class 2021. Today we celebrate the success of the graduates here at Stanford College. My name is Sonia Cantonaire, and I'm the graduate from the Healthcare Assistant Program. My fellow graduates, welcome to your graduation. I want to congratulate you all on your hard work to earn this achievement. You have conquered late-night study sessions, mental breakdowns, and adapted to an entirely new form of visual learning, which until this past year was unprecedented. Not only have we proven that we have the knowledge and perseverance to become leaders in our fields, but we have gained a strong ability to adapt to an ever-changing environment. The year 2020 was a historic year, an infamous year, a year that future generations will read about in history books. COVID-19 has impacted all of us and will be remembered for its hardships, its struggles, and loss. But this year in 2021, we stand on the premises of hope. This year 2020, the year 2020, reaffirmed my commitment in joining the medical field. It showed me the importance of having a resolute commitment to care for others. I was born in a very small country, yet a beautiful one, called Fiji, and later moved to live in New Zealand with my family and pursued my education there. In 2015, my dad was in a tragic accident and lost his leg. The dedication of the hospital staff to help my dad and my family heal and recover gave me a new purpose in life. They say you don't know how much a profession is needed until you need it the most. 2 years later, in 2017, I married the love of my life and moved to Canada to be with him. My husband has supported me in every step of the way, and last October we were blessed with a baby boy. Because of the global pandemic, I was laid off work. I was 3 months pregnant. I knew this was my call to action on my passion. I decided on a career change. Following my path to my passion led me to Stanford College, and I decided to do the HCA program, which was the quickest step for me to get into nursing. I had my 3-month-old baby with me when I started the program. Being a first-time mom of a newborn and taking the program, I must say, wasn't easy. At that moment, all I cared about was to get 70% to pass each course. Along the way, I started getting good grades and felt driven to maintain it, and I finally made it through. To succeed, you need something to hold on to, something to motivate you, something to inspire you. For me, it was my son. We both went through our struggles, sleepless nights, but we finally did it. This is my story, and I'm sure for many of you can relate. My journey showed me the importance of having a resolute commitment to care for others. Today, I stand before you as a valedictorian and a Student of the Year finalist, as well as a successful HCA who works in a complex care facility specializing in dementia. Today, I stand right along my patients and provide them with emotional support. Too often, we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, an honest compliment, or the smallest act of caring, all of which have the potential to turn a life around. We all can make a difference in the lives of others in need because it's the simplest of gestures that make the most significant of difference. It is a beautiful thing when a passion and a career come together, and this happened to me and many of you here. I know from my experience at Stanford, passion is at the core of Stanford graduates. Behind every successful child who believes in herself is a mom, a dad, a sister, or a brother who believed first. I will never forget the important values my mom had passed down to me. The sacrifices my dad made, the support from my amazing siblings. Mom, Dad, you have given me the greatest gift of all right from the beginning, an education, the best legacy that parents can pass on their children. So thank you to you amazing parents present here today. Thank you for believing in us before we believed in ourselves. As we graduate, I feel thankful to my family, in-laws, friends that supported me through my hardest moments. I want to thank the instructors that help us pursue our dreams, knowing that our tears, frustration, hard work was leading us to this very moment. In closing, I wish every graduate all the best as you embark on your new career path. I want to leave you with some simple words with a profound message. You each have your own light. No matter what challenges may arise, you must step in the light and move forward. And for you to see how bright your light can shine, you have to go through the darkest tunnel. Having faith and patience leads you to your dreams. Once again, congratulations, Stanford graduates of 2021. We finally made it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonia. Thank you for being an outstanding student and an outstanding person. You have already made Stanford College very proud, and I know you will continue to do so as you go forward in your career. Taking on a program is, at Stanford College, all of the programs are quite intense. To be doing that, to start a program at Stanford College with a 3-month-old at home, just inconceivable to me. That is amazing. We will now begin the ceremony and move on to perhaps the less heavy, the less emotional component of the evening. After some very heartfelt and deep messages from the previous speakers. We'll have the graduate procession across the stage. And the graduates will come forward and be named and be greeted by the faculty individual representing their program. We'd like to ask you to hold your applause until the end, once all graduates have crossed the stage. And I believe they're just going to be gathering briefly at the far end of the stage for a quick photo opportunity as a class. I see the photographer is ready. I'd like to ask our alumni coordinator, Sonia Ireland, to come forward to the microphone, and she's going to be announcing the graduates today. I believe this is Sonia's first time announcing the graduates, so she will be going for the record, the all-time record of 100% perfect name pronunciation that was set by her predecessor at last graduation. No pressure, Sonia. We'd like to call forward the first group this evening. These are the healthcare assistant graduates who began their program in January of 2021. They're going to be presented to this evening by Michelle Zalameda.
Sonia Kanta. Go ahead. Anjali Maharaj. Binu Sharma.
And as they're assembling for their photo, there's just the three of them here this evening. I'll let you know that HCA is our longest standing program. We've offered it for over 25 years. Our employment rate, as you can probably guess, especially in these times, is 100%. We are grateful for the work, of course, that our HCA grads do, supporting elderly individuals, maintain a high level of independence while easing their pain and improving their quality of life. I can't think of another time in our society's history where we needed HCA grads more than now. A round of applause, please, for the HC graduating class of January 2021. The next group is the hospital support specialist class from October of 2020 they started. They're also going to be coming across stage with the medical office assistant graduates from October 2020. And they're both being presented to by instructor Nikki Cross.
Karen Nicole Abraham. Rima Bala, Margaret Blondeau, Harmanpreet Chahal, Jada Chanthapath, Sumandeep Gahkal, Bina Jagda, Jaspreet Kaur, Karamjeet Kaur, Leah Peralta, Zabaya Salem, Meena Sharma, Ramandeep Sidhu.
The Hospital Support Specialist program trains the very best of the administrative staff who greet us in many healthcare settings. Their friendly faces, positive attitudes, and administrative proficiency keep our healthcare systems running smoothly and efficiently. A hospital could not run without support specialists, whether they're working as reg clerks, health records clerks, medical imaging clerks. Much of the organization of hospitals can be attributed to these graduates. Medical office assistants are part of the primary healthcare team who assist in preparing patients for physicians, surgeons, and practitioners, and they are also known for their organizational skills and abilities to multitask. MOAs are critical to the success of medical offices, and I'm sure we've all met an MOA or two in our lifetimes. Congratulations to these two cohorts of graduates, the hospital support specialists of October 2020, and the medical office assistants of October 2020. We have the nursing unit clerks. We learned a little bit about nursing unit clerks earlier. Nursing unit clerk graduating cohort, they started in September of 2020. They are also being presented to by Mickey Cross. Not so fast.
Anupam. Mikhail Bolkri. Jesse Grasby. Avinash Kaur. Ashley Medeiros. Sheila Manuzon. Nicole Nidu. Anya Olenchenko. Ripjeet Randawa. Kayla Reed. Himani Sharma. Anmoldeep Singh.
As was alluded to previously, nursing unit clerks are often referred to as the anchors of patient care departments, and without them, the nursing staff wouldn't be able to complete their duties or operate as efficiently as they do otherwise. They are extremely well organized, professional, have exceptional communication skills, and are good at managing the flow of traffic in and out of hospital units, as well as the multitude of different personalities and situations that they encounter. Congratulations to the nursing unit clerk cohort from September of 2020. Next, we have the practical nursing cohort that started in October of 2019. They are being presented to, again, by Michelle Zalameda.
Zoe Guitar. Jaspreet Manku. Agam Nota. Jessica Streeter. Kara Skyvan Sketson.
Rather a small group. Typically, practical nurse cohorts are large, but not this evening. This program is approved by the British Columbia College of Nursing Professionals. Stenberg PN graduates consistently exceed the national and provincial standards on the Canadian Practical Nurse Registration Exam and have an excellent reputation in industry. Please give a warm round of applause to the practical nursing graduates of October 2019. We have another practical nurse cohort. These individuals started their program in February of 2020. They're going to be met on stage by Harpreet Brar and Megan Leary.
Amy Abayas. Patrick Abulensha. Alicia Afros. Raveen Brar. Francis Ann Calitzo. Janet Cow. Kelly Chan. Maria Diagonon. Ronel De Ocampo. Manroop Dylon. Angelica Dialago. Christine Din. Parmveer Gill. Ivy Gale Gregorio. Nimrat Gruel. Mackenzie Halam. Ranjat Jawar. Tarnveer Jetty. Emily Lamb. Sorry, she got jiggy with it. Lena Montoya. May Lani Munar. Andre Razol. Gia Ruperto. Athena Sandhu. Courtney Schmier, Chelsea Short, Selena Sunner, Hannah Samantha Tan, Monica Vuong, and Carrie Zhao.
All right, that's what I was referring to with the large groups. Our PN grads have mastered the theoretical components of nursing and the characteristics that will make them invaluable, frankly, in the healthcare system. Critical thinking, leadership, awareness, empathy, teamwork, and the passion to deliver exceptional patient care. I'd like to thank them in advance for the great work that they will soon be doing, if they're not already, as many of these graduates will already be employed. Let's give a fulsome round of applause to the graduates of the Practical Nursing Program of October 2019. Just applaud them off stage as well, back to their seats. Fantastic. I believe it's our final group of graduates this evening. The Regional Diploma in Psychiatric Nursing cohort began their journey in March of 2019. They will be met on stage as they cross by Sarah Rourke and Carly McInerney. And that is a misprint, my apologies. It is actually Sasha Rourke. Yes. Much like the anchorman Ron Burgundy, I will read anything they put on the page.
Chander Banga, Nadine Bailey, Gurneet Brar, Chantal Cadaret, Sarah Delacruz, Kayla Dack, Tamara Elgelson, Kellyanne Fontaine, Julie Gillespie, Candace Hamilton, Justine Jones, Natasha Minaj, Jared McDonald, Brittany Nyland, Jasbir Parmar, Amanda Polishek, Nikki Poon, Nidhi Shalka, Kimberly Sterling, Christine Sidorko, Lisa Varelli, Pravina Vincent, Melanie White. And Thomas Wyard.
As they assemble for their photo opportunity, I'll just let you know that these graduates come from all around British Columbia, so we'd especially like to thank anyone who's traveled to be with them here this evening. Our program is the only psychiatric nursing program of its kind in North America, so far as we are aware. The theory curriculum is offered fully online and always has been. This is prior to the pandemic. Over the past 2 years, these students have worked extremely hard to do the professional and personal development needed to become psychiatric nursing professionals, desperately needed in communities right across the province. It's a challenging and rewarding field that is continually in dire need of more nurses. A big congratulations to our final group this evening, the March 2019 cohort of the Regional Diploma in Psychiatric Nursing. All right, as they're reseating themselves, that brings us to very near the end of our ceremony this evening. There are just a few more remarks to make. And then the graduates and faculty will be drummed off stage by the Kwantlen drummers and singers who will address the auditorium following the drumming to explain the song and to offer blessing and to close the ceremony. So I would ask that everyone remain seated until the drummers and singers have had an opportunity to address you and officially close the ceremony, at which time you can go and join your graduate for a photo afterwards. So a few housekeeping items before I say the last bits of what I need to say this evening. Grads, this is housekeeping, remember, this is the mundane stuff. Please remember to return your gowns to the bins provided outside of the front door. Please do not leave the premises until your gown and V-stole have been returned. They have tracking devices in them, sewn right into the cloth, and someone will come and get them. They don't actually belong to us. You may keep your caps, of course, and who would not want to keep that incredibly stylish cap? It goes with so many occasions, and it pairs so well with so many clothing items you already have. So please do keep the cap. As per public health orders, unfortunately and unusually, we have to leave the building right away, as we're not allowed to have anyone in the foyer. The one exception to that is if it is pounding rain outside, you will be able to line up in the entranceway and back into the school hallway while you're awaiting a photo. A professional photographer is set up outside to take graduate photos with your family. Okay, so if that's the case, I'm not getting the signal that it is, but if it is, we'd ask that you maintain masks and also maintain your 6-foot distancing in your little family cluster as best you possibly can while we try to get everyone looked after with a professional photographer. We want everybody to have that opportunity. If it's not raining too much, we would ask that you exit the building and wait outside. As I mentioned before, and I'm saying it again so you can't say you didn't hear it, if you have left your child in childcare, please pick them up before you leave, as you'll be unable to re-enter the building. Once the grads have left, then of course, as I mentioned, we can all follow out after them. I think by the opening address, the opening remarks from the Kwantlen drummers, and then the Student of the Year video, and then the remarks made by the valedictorian. Pretty much everything inspirational that need be said has been said. If you weren't moved by those words and the sharing of those individuals, well then, I don't know really what would move you. There are several groups, though, that we do need to acknowledge, and one of the opening speakers did mention this and did allude to this. I want to make sure that we acknowledge and thank, and that the graduates have an opportunity to give a round of applause in a few moments to the people that have gathered here and represent the other critical element of what you have achieved. I think it's fair to say that without exception, or with very, very few exceptions, nobody goes through this completely alone. You have a team of people behind you, and with their support, or without their support, it would be so much more difficult and potentially even impossible to be sitting on stage as a graduate today. They've given you emotional support, they've given you financial support, they've given you encouragement, and they're standing behind you here today to celebrate with you. So would you please give a round of applause to your support group, your family and friends here. I also want to acknowledge the team that worked with you, that created the environment for you to learn in at Stenberg College, the group of professionals, passionate professionals that are represented by these individuals here in the front row, the faculty, the staff of Stenberg College. Education is an imperfect process. It's a challenging process. That's the nature of it. It is meant to challenge you. You've met that challenge. Sometimes that process can create frictions. And so it would be a false statement to say that it's perfect and smooth sailing and it's happy every day for everyone going through the education process. But I'm very, very fortunate to work with and lead a group of individuals at Stenberg who are truly, truly passionate about the process of education and about how its transformative power opens doors, provides keys for people, as the opening speaker said, for you to open doors the rest of your life. The faculty and staff at Stenberg College care very deeply about the outcomes that we celebrate here today. This group here is sitting here to celebrate with you, and I'd like to offer them a round of applause for their part in this as well, for the faculty and staff of Stenberg College. And then finally, I'll just say that from my own personal perspective, the last almost 2 years now of the pandemic is not only, it's changed education in every institution in the province. Stenberg's no different. We were very fortunate in that we already delivered many programs online. But even so, the work that needed to be done in order to transition from many, many face-to-face program deliveries into entirely online was enormous. It was Herculean. And it was a transition that not only staff and faculty had to go through very rapidly, but the students also had to transition. Although most of the students on stage today didn't know any different. They came into pandemic conditions and they went through in the same fashion. But it's been even more challenging on everybody than it is normally. And so I want to acknowledge that. But I also want to say that it has been incredibly inspirational to see in these times the individuals coming forward to pursue careers in the caring professions. That is almost every single program that Stenberg delivers is in a caring profession. Whether it's licensed practical nurse or cardiology technologist, obviously care aides, but also early childhood educators and education assistants that weren't with us in this morning's ceremony, but will be this afternoon. All of those students knew full well when they chose to enter into those career paths and become a Stenberg student, they knew they were headed towards an environment of increased danger. And yet they chose to do that anyway. And it speaks to their character to make that choice. When you didn't have to, it was a choice. It's incredibly impressive to me, and I want to thank you very much as a citizen. Thank you for choosing Stenberg to provide the environment for you to learn in. It was a pleasure and a privilege to work with all of you. It will be equally a pleasure and a privilege to watch you progress forward in your careers and do what you trained to do. Each and every one of you now has a privilege as well and a responsibility to take what you have learned forward and to make our community, our society, and by extension the world, a better place, a safer place. I would now ask that the Kwantlen drummers and singers come back on stage and close our ceremony by playing everybody out. But before they come on, because now is the last opportunity for this, one last round of applause for the graduating class.
ACMCIA, once again, hold our hands up to the graduates. If you came to our Lulum and to our community in Fort Langley or any of the First Nations communities, we welcomed you to our land. We grounded you so that you and your family can be here present today. Because in this fast-paced world, we're always fixated on what's coming up next. You guys deserve to sit here and be proud of the accomplishments that got you here today. So we want to also, we start with the song in our culture, and we follow our protocols and we don't like to water it down, but we also end with the song. And the song comes from not around here, it comes from our family in Lummi, that's in Bellis Fair in the States. We asked one of our family, his name's Anton George, our hereditary Siam Stakwasan, my mom, hereditary chief, loves to sing the song to uplift the people, loves to sing the song to uplift the youth and the elders, or when we say our last goodbyes, laying our loved one to rest so that those tears can come out. And he looked at us and he said, Michael and Kevin, you can sing that song anytime that you want, as long as you recognize where it comes from, which is the West Shore Canoe Club family or the Lummi community. But for us, the eagle is the one that soars closest to the Creator. So whenever we pray, that eagle's a messenger to give it to that higher power or the ones that you missed that can't be here today. But it's also an uplifting song. So when we share our goodbye song, see you later song, this song is meant to add that prayer so that you make it home safe to all your family when you get inside that vehicle. So this is an uplifting song to give you that fire inside you to keep on doing what you do and make this university proud, yourself proud, but also your family proud. Don't let anybody break your shwali in our language. That's our spirit. Don't let anybody break that. You guys worked hard to get this degree. You found your gift, and don't let anybody take that away from you. I am very proud. I'm going to take this to my community on this beautiful day. Once again, I raise my hands to the family, the graduates, and the faculty here for allowing us to be here to celebrate this big day. It warms our hearts as well. So I wanted to share that with you. The song has a little bit of English in it, but it's for anybody here, but we're uplifting everybody. So I just, yeah.
You are the